Welcome in Beyond the Blast Doors for this comic book breakdown of Darth Vader #2, written by Charles Soule. This is a series that is definitely a favorite of ours here at Beyond the Blast Doors. I'm David Amlotti, and I'm joined with David Gilbert. And David, this is a comic that combined, I think you and I have read like 10 times.
I love it. This is currently topping Nightwing as my favorite comic.
Which is crazy. So a Marvel, you're a DC guy, and a Marvel line has overtaken your #1 spot.
Yes.
That's really funny. Well, okay, so we want to make so Charles Soule is the writer of this. Giuseppe Camuncoli is the artist behind this. He's called a penciler. But you know they're the 1-2 combo punch for this series, and we really enjoyed that first issue where we got to start right there at the end of Revenge of the Sith. We got to explore the relationship between Vader and the Emperor Palpatine. Had that moment where
it's kind of ruthless.
Yeah, Vader uses the Force on him, and then Palpatine makes him that threat.
Yeah, pretty tough love there.
Yeah, very tough love. Fatherly love?
No, just tough.
Just tough love. But it's a really fun comic that we were able to explore, and we've already done a breakdown of that first comic, so be sure you check that out on our channel if you haven't already. But you're looking for this video because you want to find out about Darth Vader issue #2, and so why don't we jump into the breakdown then, and then we'll do our reaction after that. How's that sound?
Perfect.
All right, so we'll start this like we do every breakdown that we do on this channel. Darth Vader, issue #2, hit local comic book shelves on June 21st, 2017, and we at Beyond Blast Doors thought, break it down for you. Now we begin at an old Jedi outpost. This is somewhere in the mid-rim. Several clone troopers have been dispatched to this place to log inventory, and it's at this time an unidentified ship gets picked up on the sensors. It's Darth Vader, and he ignores the constant demands to identify himself. Now this restricted area is no match for the power of the Dark Lord. He obliterates the ARC-17 starfighters tasked with defending the former Jedi Sanctuary. Next, Vader enters, and it's somewhat Rogue One fashion where he goes on a killing spree, slaughtering clones. He and his droid are able to log into the station's archive and connect into the system. It's here we learn Vader's after a list of Jedi who took the Barash Vow before Order 66. See, those who took the vow agreed to refrain from all activities related to the Order, so they could still use the Force, but in the case of the Great Jedi Purge and feeling the mass slaughter of the Jedi, they would be forced to stay away. Now, any further insight into this is cut short as a bomb flies through the air. A set of clones attempt to surprise Vader. See, the clones think Vader is a Jedi and has limits. That's a swing and a miss. Cue more slaughtering. Now, Vader's droid completes the search for the Jedi under oath. Vader releases his force grip over the bomb and destroys the outpost. Vader picks out a Jedi who disappeared before even himself arrived at the Jedi Temple. Karak Infala. Nothing is known of this Jedi other than his purpose for the Order was to fight. Alright, so clearly you can tell by the sound of my voice that I really enjoyed this issue, and there's no denying we both did. Let's first start, David, with the positives of this issue that we see Darth Vader just absolutely wreck.
I love the fury that Vader brings to this comic. I love the fact that he's just ripping these stormtroopers to shred.
They're still technically clone troopers.
They're still clone troopers. I mean, Soule does a really good job of giving these guys a little bit of background of character. They even talk in there about how they'd love to get the red helmets, stand right next to Palpatine, and be those Praetorian Guard. And then, of course, like 3 panels later, they're dead. So just a little tug at the heart feels there, even giving one of them the nickname of Ding. Made me giggle, too. But I don't know if we can show it, David, but this one panel of Darth Vader holding the green lightsaber.
Oh, yeah, we can pull that up.
And the green glow against his armor is just really badass and possibly one of my favorite panels that I've ever seen in a comic.
Yeah, I think my positive for this issue, and we talked about it after the first issue, and then you just brought it up, Charles Soule does a really great job of really allowing you to explore the character. So in the first issue, we got a really great chance to get an inside look at Darth Vader. And here with issue #2, he does. He gives these clone troopers some character. You start to kind of relate to them. They're already notified that the Jedi are no longer, that the Emperor is creating the Galactic Empire, and they're kind of talking about what's next for them. They're already kind of aware that clone troopers might be phased out. Production of Kamino's going to stop. And I really did enjoy that. And then I enjoyed, like, 4 pages later, we almost get a scene very similar to Rogue One. Darth Vader, you know, when he boards the Jedi outpost, you know, the door crunches, it blows open, he finds a lightsaber, he just starts slashing, and it's that ruthlessness that I'm really enjoying. I'm also enjoying the instability of Darth Vader.
He even takes a hit, so you know he's
Oh,
not
yeah.
perfect on the game on the right shoulder.
I think you would think that he's still trying to learn how to maneuver with all the cybernetics that are now attached to his torso. Was there any other pros that you had of this issue?
There's one more scene towards the end of the comic where Vader's trying to use the computer system with his droid to get the information he's looking for.
Right.
And of course, he's looking for the name of a Jedi he can go steal a lightsaber from. And a clone trooper throws a grenade at him, and he turns around and freezes it midair, so it's just floating there, not exploding. And the stormtroopers call him on it, like, "Oh, well, he must be a Jedi, so, he's not going anywhere."
And then he's like,
And
"I'm
he's
no
like,
Jedi."
Yeah, and then he force chokes and snaps her neck, and it's beautiful. It's grotesque and awful, but it's what I want to see out of a furious Vader comic.
I don't know if we'll see a Darth Vader standalone film, but I'm totally okay with him getting these standalone comic series because you're going to get that ruthlessness that we've always had that imagination for, or that we've always imagined. We got that nice scene of him at the end of Rogue One, but we're really seeing a very aggressive Darth Vader, and he was having to figure out how to defend himself without a lightsaber. I'm really excited. I really enjoyed this. But not every comic is perfect, though, right?
Right, and he's going to have to go fight some more people without his lightsaber, because that's the whole point of this mission, was to go find out where he can find a Jedi, and he's successful when he finds Kirik and Phila. And
Right.
I'm going to butcher that name like I do every other.
No, we're all
going
gonna
to
butcher it,
Any
yeah.
of these other episodes. So, I mean, I feel like there's still more fighting to come.
It doesn't sound like we have a con then. There wasn't anything you didn't like? Because there was nothing that I didn't have a problem with.
I mean, there's like 3 weeks between this issue and the next issue, which comes out next week on the 9th? No, 13th.
Huh. Okay.
So
yeah, it's coming out. Darth Vader issue number 3 is coming out that Wednesday. That would be.
That'd be the 12th.
It'd be the 12th? Yeah, it'll be coming out the 12th. So really excited for that. So because we don't have any cons, before we wrap this one up, it's so easy to do a video when everybody agrees on everything. Barash Vow. What do you think about that? This is the oath that we learn about in this second issue, that Jedi take this oath where they want to step away from the Order, and the deal is that even if you feel a tremor in the Force, you don't come back to the temple, and it's kind of in a way to protect the individual. How did you interpret this concept?
I kind of gathered from it that this was something that was self-imposed, so I almost wonder if even if you do feel a bad tremor in the Force, that you couldn't choose to come back. So it didn't seem to me, in like the 3 little speech bubbles that we have on it, that it's anything that's outrageously permanent that can't be overcome. If you decide
so that's interesting, because I interpreted it that it was like, if you take this oath, no matter what, you can't come back.
I mean, I just don't think we have like clarification on it.
No, and I think there's an opportunity for this comic series to explore that more, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, by and large, I can't say that I'm a big fan of the concept, because to me, if you're going to take the vows to become a Jedi, I mean, that's kind of it. That's how you live your life. And being able to say, I'm not cutting it as a Jedi, I need to retire, I can't say that that's a concept that overly excites me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Coming up in issue 3, like we told you about, comes out the 12th of July. We are going to see this Jedi Master go up against Darth Vader, and Darth Vader is going into this battle without a lightsaber. And I guess here's the question. Because you have such an action-packed issue number 2, do you think in this 3rd issue we're actually going to see these two go head-to-head? Or do you think it's going to be the journey Vader has to this Jedi, cliffhanger, issue number 4, we see the battle?
I feel like it's going to be a cliffhanger, and eventually we're going to find our way to this Jedi, but they're not going to throw it out there immediately in the next comic, because that's going to just, it's not going to be suspenseful. But at the same time, I hope they don't like Dragon Ball Z this, where we've got like 25 issues between now, where it's just page after page of them like screaming at each other without lightsabers before they go attack.
No, I can agree with all of that, and I'm just really excited to see where they take it. I love this first arc. Like I've said before, I'm a very big fan of this idea of doing a year 1 Darth Vader series. That first, that Gillen run that we got, going back a couple years ago, was fantastic. It left off right at the end of A New Hope, and we got to bridge that gap of the original saga. But to bring it back, year 1, when Charles Soule first said that in that interview with StarWars.com, I was hooked, and he is following through. And I love this first arc being how does Vader get his red lightsaber?
Yep.
So I mean, we are clearly big fans of this. We want to make sure that you get out there and you pick up this comic, Darth Vader #2, that came out back on the 21st of June. Make sure that you look for issue #3 coming out July 12th. And let us know what you think. I mean, comment on the video below. You can always find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Let us know what you think. And if there's a comic out there that we haven't broken down, let us know, and we'll talk about it. While you're here, be sure you check out all the other awesome videos that we have on our channel. We'll see you soon.